Yo guys, what's up? It's Gaz. Welcome to the Warframe video. So there definitely was not going to be a video today, but they actually gave us some juicy details on lots of stuff that's going to be changing with the next update, which is going to be next week on PC, hopefully. So we're going to go over that. We got a 10-part dev post here by DE Bear with his Juggernaut icon. And yeah, he's the guy who nerfs Rivens, I'm pretty sure, so keep that one in mind. Okay, so there's 10 parts here: impact damage, gas damage, status chance mods, Koval liches, foundry crafting items, Magus lockdown nerf, Grendel changes, Titania changes, Rock to Dark Dagger nerf, and Scarlet Spear ETA. So we're going to go over all these points. If you have been keeping a track of the dev stream and all that stuff, you probably know a lot of this. Like, we already know that impact damage is changing, we know gas damage is getting changed, Koval liches is getting status effects. So we're going to go over these one by one, and yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know I really appreciate everyone that's been checking the channel lately. All that kind of stuff, like checking me on Twitch. I really appreciate that stuff. I know it's not the biggest channel ever, but I really do appreciate everyone that stops by and is showing support one way or the other. So let's get into number one here, which is impact damage. I'm gonna read it off. I'm also gonna give my opinions on this stuff. So yeah, impact damage will now accumulate the effect that can stack on an enemy, so up to 10 times. The large stagger, so it's gonna be like a mini stagger starting out, and as you stack up staggers, it will go to a heavy stagger at 5 stacks. And then each status effect, impact status effect, will increase the chance of a Parazon finisher by 10%. So if you didn't know this, you can actually sometimes a Parazon finisher will be an enemy will open up for Parazon finisher when they're like 20-ish% health. It's a percent chance, and this is going to increase that chance, which is good, but definitely not like anything game breaking, which is what we're looking for as a Warframe community, right? So it's going to start as a mini stagger, and then as they get to 5 stacks, heavy stagger, and then basically when they're open for finisher, the chance will be increased when you have a lot of impact procs on them. So yeah, this definitely is not going to make impact any sort of meta option. This is such a niche case of this ever being useful. Like, I can't even think of a niche case, honestly. So yeah, you might as well just not even mod for impact still, and just like, the staggers will be a nice bonus, but like, the thing is, we could just use good damage types that kill enemies, not knock them around and make them viable or vulnerable to a finisher. That's really, like, it's kind of a cool idea, but it's not going to be good in practice at all. So just run viral, heat, corrosive, whatever you got. That's going to definitely outkill impact heavily, because impact's not a great damage type anyway. So a step in the right direction, I guess, but I definitely would like some kind of damage buff with impact, or some kind of, you know, I don't even know. This is probably the last change we'll ever get to impact damage, to be honest. So just get used to what this is. I'm gonna be completely honest. That's how it is. All right, moving on to gas damage. Gas damage has been reworked. So you're gonna need a history lesson on this one. I'm gonna read off what they have here, and then we'll tell you the history lesson about gas damage. Gas has been reworked to have a radius effect, a stacking effect, with a focus on how it continues to work after the death of the enemy who's affected in short. This means the following changes have been made. Gas effects will continue to cause damage over time to the target after the original target dies. Gas status effect, area of effect radius increases with the number of stacks to a maximum of 10 stacks. Gas damage resistance has been removed from toxic agents. Okay, so basically the gist of this stuff is you're going to be able to get huge gas clouds compared to now. That's going to cover a big area. So it's an AoE-focused damage type now. But here's the problem. The damage on gas is trash. The gas damage over time is trash. And the reason it's trash is because I'm comparing it to before. Before, when you proc the gas damage type, it would actually do a gas cloud, but that gas cloud would be doing toxin damage. And toxin damage has better multipliers than gas damage. Gas damage is pretty much weak against everything besides infested, and the infested are already, like, really easy to kill. It doesn't even matter what you mod against them for the most part. So this is not going to solve the problem I was having, where gas damage was not strong enough damage-wise. It will be more AoE, which is, sure, I mean, that's a buff. Sure, I'll take it. But I don't think we're ever going to get the old gas that we had back before, where it was like doing crazy toxin procs, quadruple dipping with like Bane mods and all that stuff. So still gigantic nerf compared to before. And things like the gas Brahma I was running, I'm probably just going to go with a corrosive or a viral Brahma now. I do have 2 Brahma bows. I have one that's heat and one that's toxin, but I've been using the toxin one a lot more since the gas got completely maimed there. So it's up to you guys. Heat can still do like a viral heat build, but you know. So yeah, I don't think they're going to ever change gas damage again after this either. I think they're going to move on past this stuff. They're going to move on past impact, move on past gas, and we'll be stuck with what we have right here, with them not being extremely useful. Maybe for low levels the gas will be useful, but yeah. Moving on, status chance mods. So they forgot a couple of the status chance mods that they were supposed to buff when they did the Warframe revised update. So basically here they're going to be increasing the status chance on hammer shot from 40 to 80%. That's really good for hammer shot. Might make it actually a somewhat viable mod, because that also is going to give you critical damage. If you don't have a Riven, it might be a nice mod to consider, especially since they're buffing it. It only, I think it takes like 9 points. Not exactly a worthless slot at all. It does take a D polarity on the build, though, which is a little bit annoying. Increasing the Shattering Justice status chance from 20 to 90%. That's the Heck augment mod for the normal Heck. In addition, the buff has been changed from additive to a multiplicative chance. So since status chance on shotguns is very different now, they had to do something like this to make it noticeable, I'd say. So that's good for people. Like, a lot of new players try to get this mod if they have the Heck, because the Heck is a good new player weapon to a certain extent, and this will just be better for them if they have that mod. And if you have the normal Heck, sure, that'll help you too. Alright, increase the stunning speed status chance from 10% to 30%. This one is really not a huge deal. 10% is basically nothing, and 30% it's what it's being buffed to, which is also pretty much nothing. Although this does give you reload speed for your pistol, which a lot of pistols do have reload problems, so it might be viable for some people, and maybe useful for some people. Moving on to Koval Lich changes. So basically here, I'm going to read this off verbatim. Based on feedback with the recent overhaul to stats effects, the conversation of how stats effects should react with bosses and VIPs has started. Our first step down this road is starting with Koval Liches. Currently, there are 2 special rules for boss statuses. No status effects will exceed a maximum of 4 stacks, with the exception of Impact, which can stack up to 6 times. And there's a cooldown for statuses on the Lich, however, to prevent stun locking them in place and removing the challenge with status weapons. Okay, so that cooldown status for the Lich, do they not remember that there's like relatively low durations on the we'll see how this actually comes out, but I mean, it's not going to be a huge difference. And additionally, radiation will not make the Lich attack the other teammates. It will just make the allies that are the Lich's allies that are shooting the Lich do more damage to him or her. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be nice to an extent. You can get some corrosive on there, remove some of its armor, stack up some viral, get some multiplicative damage buffs, but it's only gonna stack up to 4 times. So it will make fighting Liches a little bit easier if you're not fully geared out. But people like me, or players like me, I usually just one-shot the level 5 Lich with like a Karudo charge attack. So it's not gonna really change anything for me. I mean, it's just gonna make it a little bit easier if I actually proc some viral on them, make a guaranteed one-shot. But yeah, that'll definitely be good for squads that are not mega geared out. So good change there. Hopefully we can get magnetic procs on the Eidolon in the near future. That would be pretty nice. Alright. Koval Liches are tough. Yeah, who cares about that stuff? Moving on. Okay, this one's a big one, guys. I've been hearing about this complaint since I started playing the game, like in 2014. So, Foundry crafting time changes. If you've been playing the game a long time, you might just be as excited as I am about this one. Actually, I'm not excited about it. I just think it's hilarious they're finally doing this. So they're basically reducing the craft time for Forma, Orokin Catalyst, Orokin Reactors, and Exos Adapters to 23 hours from 24. This has been a long, long request, because there's a lot of people that will, I mean, they like to play the game, they like to watch videos, build, stuff like that, but of course they have a job, they have a family, they have school, blah, 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 whatever you got, that you can't be playing the game 24/7, and I mean, why would you play the game 24/7? But that's a different point. So basically, it would be like you sign in at 6 o'clock on like Friday. You start your Forma, and then you sign off for the day, because you got other stuff to do. You come back on Saturday, and you might be, if you come back at 6 o'clock, it might be like a couple more minutes you have to wait to actually get that Forma to be completed. So making it 23 hours is definitely going to be more respectful, give you some more flexibility. If you are just a person that signs in every day to start a Forma build or a Catalyst build, like sign off because you're busy or whatever, this is going to finally be added. Like I said, people have been asking for this since like 2015. And apparently you can do stuff on the mobile app to build Formas too. That's nice. Never used the mobile app, and I probably never will. Alright, moving on to Magus Lockdown Nerf. They finally realized Magus Lockdown existed, guys. So, alright, here's the general gist of this. I'm going to read it verbatim just so we're all on the same page here. They're going to make some changes to Magus Lockdown that will keep it as a tactical option over a do-everything solution. Magus Lockdown will no longer apply puncture damage to tethered enemies. The damage element of Magus Lockdown entirely removed. CC will still be there, and they actually buffed the CC to 15 enemies when you have an R5. That was actually added with the mainline update. The amount of tethers active, the amount of active tethers per player is now 2. So you can only have 2 tethers per player active at a time. Once it expires, you can reapply another 2. And if you cast it a third time, the first tether will stop, and the new tether will... Oh, wait, what? I just read that for the first time. The amount of active tethers is now limited to 2 per player in this. So if you dash 3 times, it removes the first one. And a third tether will take its place. That might not even be a huge change at all, then. Okay. Honestly, guys, I'm okay with this change. I didn't really rely on the damage from Magus Lockdown at all before. Like, it was a nice little bonus, but the CC part was what was really I was using it for. And I probably won't even be taking it off. It works on Sentience. It works on Kuva Guardians. The damage part never worked on the damage part used to work on Kuva Guardians. They removed that stealthily. And it works on it works on Demolus. It's still going to be extremely valuable and still going to be a staple for me. And that's not just because it's ingrained in my muscle memory when I play the game to use Magus Lockdown all the time. It's still going to be really powerful, and my current operator arcane step is Repair and Lockdown, and I really don't think I'll be changing that with this change. Like I said, I didn't use the damage part of it. So, their reasoning for this is pretty funny, actually. Magus Lockdown has a reputation for being CC and damage meta. After some review, it is not hard to see why. I feel like they just realized that people were using it like a couple months ago. Because it was ridiculously broken, like, since the day it came out. So, I out of touch, maybe? Just not really caring, just wanting us to have some fun with our toys. Like, I don't know what it is. But they're finally nerfing it in some degree, and like I said, I think it will still be really useful. Moving on to the next point. There's going to be Grendel changes. So, I don't like Grendel currently. Not many people do like him. So, there's a couple things that are changing with him. First off, he's going to be able to cycle through his buffs like Titania. So, or like Ivara for that matter. You can cycle through your sleep arrow, your stealth arrow, the dashwire arrow. You can cycle through his buffs now, and you can choose which one you want. So that's really good. And his buffs are like a toxin damage buff, energy regeneration buff, and armor buff. So you can just basically choose what you want and get it. And then another change is going to be an anti-troll change. Apparently some Grendel players were trolling on the Sentient Anomaly. So when you eat a Sentient, now it has a maximum duration before it pops out on a limited timer that's affected by diminishing returns. This change was made to prevent Grendel players from stopping mission progression where all Sentients must be exterminated. So they knew that people were trolling with Grendel, or there was possibly going to be some trolling in the Scarlet Sphere with Grendel. So now he cannot eat Sentients forever. You probably just shouldn't even use Grendel, honestly. Just use, like, Mesa or, like, Limbo or, like, Nyx or whatever. We'll see. But that's too bad. Like, they enable these things, of course, when they add abilities like this. The Grendel Eat attack, the Hydroid Puddle, Limbo Rift in general, Nova Portal, Loki Teleport, like, you name it. Like, there's probably a troll for most characters in this game. So yeah, they're removing that, and then also Grendel can now eat grenades, which is really cool, because there's like a UI little thing when a grenade's on the ground, you can just eat in that direction, and then you'll eat the grenade, and it won't blow up and kill your teammates. So, good stuff there. Moving on to Titania changes. New passive for Titania. Instead of her trampolines when she bullet jumps, she's going to have... she generates health for herself and nearby allies whenever she casts an ability. I don't really know how I feel about that one. I kind of do like her trampoline passive currently, where it can make you go really fast. But then again, like, you can move really fast in Razor Wing, so it was probably redundant in DE's eyes to have 2 speed-based abilities, passives, whatever you want to call them. So now you can heal your teammates when you cast abilities with Titania. We'll see how much that actually is, if it's affected by strength, yada yada yada. It probably won't be affected by strength, but we'll have to see. Titania can now use Blink and a Razor Wing ability. That's good. It's already hard enough to control Titania in an indoor mission, so this is probably going to make it even worse, but we will see when it actually is launched. Fixed an issue with Razor Wing in... Okay, that's just a bug fix right there, where it was causing a white screen in the simulacrum. All right, moving on to Rock the Dark Dagger Nerf. So me personally, I have not really used the Rock the Dark Dagger much, but I've watched a couple of Attack of Potatoes videos where he was utilizing the Rock the Dark Dagger, and it was completely busted with shield gating, just straight up. So they're nerfing it to make it so it's not busted with shield gating anymore. It will still give you some shields, like the passive is still going to work, but it's just not going to be broken with shield gating. It's basically the general gist of this. Like I said, I didn't really use the Rock the Dark Dagger that much, so I'm not entirely sure of the exact mechanics and logistics of what was happening with shield gating and the Rock the Dark Dagger, but just know that that is getting changed and it will not be as OP as it currently is. So too bad for people that really like it. That's just how it is. And then the last point, Scarlet Spear ETA. Keep in mind they are working from home. 300-person company, all working from home. Most likely all working from home. And there might be a couple guys in the office. So they're trying to get it next week on PC. I'd expect it Wednesday or Thursday of next week. Don't expect it early week, I'd say. And then consoles soon. And Switch, who even knows? So that is the gist of what they gave us here. As far as good changes, I mean, you can tell they're kind of trying with some of this stuff, but I think that they are, I think they're going to be a little bit stubborn with gas damage. They knew gas damage was completely ridiculous before, and we're not going to ever get that damage back, so I'm a bit bummed about that one. I don't want it to be like AoE focused. I want it to be damage focused. Then again, I guess I'll just mod for viral since gas isn't going to be my crazy dot anymore. Or I could just mod for pure toxin. Pure toxin's pretty good. Hammer shot getting the big buff is nice. Might actually consider it on some builds now. Koval changes. Like I said, I want magnetic procs and eidolons if they ever do that. But this is the first step to getting to that. I'm actually kind of okay. Like I said, I'm okay with the Magus lockdown change because I didn't really rely on the damage at all. But I'm sure some people will be mad about that one, where your operator was basically a death god, an invincible death god at that. So, like I said, it will still be extremely good, guys. Don't let me saying it's getting nerfed make you think like, oh, it's about to suck. No, it was so powerful before. It could get a huge nerf like this, like half the function of the ability getting changed, and it's still going to be one of the top tier options if you ask me. So, yeah, and then the crafting changes, like that is, most people that were complaining about that in 2015 have already quit at this point, but you know, people still sticking around nowadays. That will be nice for them. So, yeah, I hope that you guys found this fun and helpful. There will definitely be some videos when the Scarlet Spear comes out next week. But do keep in mind, guys, just temper your expectations. It's about to be buggy as all hell. There's going to be 8 people in these squads, or technically 8 people in these squads. There's going to be Railjack involved. There's going to be a new boss. He's going to be animation bugged or something like that. He's not going to have his face open. I guarantee something like that will happen. And then the whole like uplink beacons thing. I know that's going to bug out. There's no way that doesn't bug out. So keep that one in mind. I mean, us PC players, we know that we beta test for console a lot of the time, but we get to use a lot of the broken stuff before they nerf it. So I'm going to talk to you guys next time. Hope you found this helpful, like I said. And yeah, I really appreciate everyone checking out the channel. Definitely check out the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/gaz_TTV. Check out the other videos on the channel. We have a pre-release Scarlet Spear guide where they showed us the gameplay of it, and I just showed you, or I'm letting you guys know some of the theory crafting that me and my stream Twitch chat were going through. Basically, Limbo, Mesa, Meta, probably, and unless I change stuff. So we will see then. Talk to you guys next time. Please like, share, and subscribe. Peace.